Teenagers are building businesses with AI, while the
Okay, continue standing as we recite our Belizean national prayer. Have you been given a handout? It's right on there, or it's in the back of the book of your program.
Almighty and eternal God, who through Jesus Christ has revealed your glory to all nations, please protect and preserve Belize, our beloved country. God of might, wisdom, and justice, please assist our Belizean government and people with your Holy Spirit of counsel and fortitude. Let the light of your divine wisdom direct their plans and endeavors, so that with your help we may attain our just objectives. With your guidance, may all our endeavors tend to peace, social justice, liberty, national happiness, the increase of industry, sobriety, and useful knowledge. We pray, O God of mercy, for all of us, that we may be blessed in the knowledge and sanctified in the observance of your most holy law, that we may be preserved in union and in that peace which the world itself cannot give. And after enjoying the blessings of this life, please admit us, dear Lord, to that eternal reward that you have prepared for those who love you. Amen.
We will now have our welcome address by one of our counselors, Ms. Laken Young. Give it up for Ms. Laken Young. Latika Young, sorry.
I want to welcome everyone with a warm greetings to our village's Independence Day celebration. Today we gather to socialize and have fun. To our esteemed village council members, Chairman Mrs. Rosamond Perez, and Vice Chairman Mrs. Helen Bell, and councilors, thank you for your hard work and dedication. Without it, we would be nowhere. To our special villagers, your presence is a great appreciation, and also to the elders. As we celebrate the 21st, let us remember the humble beginnings that brought us here today, from the first home built to the way the village got its name. Let us have the day of celebration to light up the village like before. Welcome one and all to Rancho Dolores' 21st Independence Day celebration. Thank you.
We will now call on no stranger to our community, Mr. Earl Rancho Perez, to give the history of Belize.
Good morning to all of you. Thank you very much, Mistress of Ceremony, Chair Lady, villagers and the village councillors. Today, as I stand here before you, with humility and pride, it's been a long time I haven't said anything public, as my public life I thought was over, but they asked me to come and say something, so I'm a little bit trembling, I guess. And thanks very much to the Mistress of Ceremony, who helped me a lot with some history already, so I don't have to go back that part. So at least he made me rather than 15 minutes. He said I'd allow me 15 minutes. I always know to talk about maybe 3-4 minutes. But no, I could shorten it, I guess. So if we look back at our forefathers, let's go back to the beginning, Belize. When we speak of the forefathers, we're not only speaking of the Baymans were the white people, okay? So we're not speaking only of them, but the slaves, the black ones, who were descendants of both the black and the white. And also Belize, of course, is but by way of inheritance, I guess, or we probably took it from them. Some of us are Mayans, descendants of the Mayans, proud Mayans. I'm a very proud member of the Mayan descendants also. So, if we look for today's purpose, the 1981, 21st of September, prior to that, when there was a battle at St. George's Key, there is so much difference in opinion that it's hard for anyone, whether scholar or whoever, or historian, trying to figure out what exactly to cipher, what exactly went on. And because there's so much difference of opinion, you don't know what to do, or what to say, so I choose my own. We hear of the Pocono Boy, they say, oh, the Panya, supposedly when they joke, the Panya, the black man, they joke the Panya with the Pocono Boy. Well, that was a song, okay? I mean, we could put that part to rest. What it was the Poke and Do boys. They spoke of the Poke and Do boys. What is Poke and Do boys? You see, Poke and Do is, in those days and up until recently, while, because some of you who is old enough might recall working with, or heard about working with Belize Estate and Produce Company, that's BC, in Galanjog and Hillbank, and they talk about 7 and 4. So it's 7 pounds of flour and 4 pounds of pork, which they give to you as ration instead of paying you. So they give you very little wages, but they give you a ration. So the pork is, of course, is the salt pork, and the dough is the flour. So the pork and dough. So these little black men who are as well as the pork and dough boys. But along the line, they never really studied what the hell was going on, and who cares? So they said, Pocono Boy. So we end up that it was Pocono Boy, but no, it was pork and dough. So we could put that part to rest if you believe me. If you don't, it doesn't make any difference anyway. It's a long time ago, and I don't think anybody here is old enough to dispute. Or to tell me, no, you're talking nonsense. But as far as I know, as far as I studied, they tell me it's pork and dough, not Pocono Boy, pork and dough boy. So, after that battle at St. George's Key, and just incidentally, as we touch on that, that was not the final battle, because also it was mentioned in one of the books that was written by Baymanes. It was written about the Baymanes, I said the Baymanes of Belize. In that book, it was stated clearly that referring to Rancho Dolores. That's why I said I'm standing before you with humility and with pride. Because it's mentioned in there that it's a sad day at the ranch for Dolores because of the amount of deaths they have there. And they mention of a battle with the Spaniards who came by way of Labor Creek and came here to the ranch of Dolores. And Dolores fought bravely. She even got injured in the battle. And this was the only place that it was mentioned. And they buried their dead wherever. And the Spaniards never returned. Of course, we hear the 13th chapter of the book written by Asad Schumann. He mentioned that the San Pedro Mayans, who was as close as Hillbank. Okay, fine. That's Hillbank. They were coming this way, as far as we can tell. They were coming this way, and there was a battle there at Hillbank. The last one was supposedly there. They never mentioned anything about it, but it was mentioned in the Baymanes of Belize. So I cannot dispute whether or not there was a battle here, but there supposedly was a battle here, which I'm still researching to make sure that yes, there was a battle here. That was after the battle of St. George's Key, 1798. Well, it went on, Belize, whatever. We carry on until in the 50s when Belize, the country of Belize. It was mentioned, I lost my train of thought. Didn't expect any question. Yes, so after the battle of St. George's Key, when that was settled, that matter was settled, we carry on. There's a group of men, very, very brave Belizeans, who decide that, we want to get out of this colonial thing. We get tired of singing this God Save the Queen, like he said, I recall singing it, and they say we want to be independent. So the struggle begins. And there was great men, like I said, George Cale Price, there was Philip Wilberforce Goldson, there was William Smith, there was Henry Jex, Sir Jex. I said Mr. Smith, and the very famous Tony Soberanis. You know, Tony Soberanis, interestingly, was mentioned so many times in the history as one of the big fighters for the country. You know what Tony Soberanis did was they put him right along with George Price. But did you know what he did? Yeah, of course he went to jail. The police had to arrest him, but not for sedation, like they arrested George Price and Philip Goldsmith and Jex for sedation because they were fighting against the colonial government. I mean, they were fighting against the British government. So they were for sedation. But interestingly enough, all Tony Soberanis did was to let go of Adam Tamigaf in the police station, and the police they ran, and they set the people and they broke up the riot. Okay? So that's what he did. He got a backup, one stack of Tamigaf, snip, took it with him to the station, turned it two sides of the police station, and of course everybody fled. And John tried to be able to carry out their thing. He was arrested for whatever you call that, history was up. But his name was mentioned up there as one of the top people who fought for, well, eventually independence. So by doing all of this, we ended up with adult suffrage. And adult suffrage is when we got the time for the men, not the women, the men to start vote. For the first time, start voting. And these people continue to fight. They were the leaders, you know, and that was the birth. That was the birth of the movement that evolved into the People's United Party, the UP. Great party. Well, there was opposition, there was a breakaway between the leaders. Philip Goldsmith went one area, George Price went the other area, and that Philip Goldsmith started the National Independence Party, NIP. George Price stayed with PUP. They say he strong it, I don't know. They say he took it without even going to a vote. I don't know. That's, well, it's written there, it's right in history books. Some of you might not know because I guess not everybody is interested in history. But anyway, he ended up with the People's United Party, with his crowd. Philip Goldsmith went up on that side with his crowd, and they start tussling at each other, which is extremely healthy. Very healthy. You must have two-party system, at least two-party system, in order to ensure that no injustices are taken off the citizens. Because one going to be the watchdog, and the other one trying to run the things, and the other one going to be the watchdog. So it's extremely healthy. That's where they start. Now, of course, it went on for quite some time. Then here we are, you know, the infamous heads of agreement. See, because then you see, if we go back, you hear of the so many different claims. It started out in the Guatemala claim. Then we hear from the Guatemala claim, we hear for the Guatemala dispute. Then eventually we hear the old referendum. What the hell that mean anyhow? It's the same thing anyway. You know, I'll come to a referendum now. All the while being a dispute. And all of a sudden, right up as they come up with a referendum. So anyways, let's get a referendum, a dispute, a claim. So, supposedly at this time, George Price signed a secret document in England, went to London, signed some document there, and along with some other people with him there for the heads of agreement, and have 18 or 21 different that they cipher. And because of this, they thought that George Price was giving away Belize. So they have this very infamous heads of agreement riot. So they start burning and looting Belize. For the first time, Belize have seen something like this among the people there. Previously, yes, they said the slaves rebelled against their masters. This was way back. Okay, but since we recognize ourselves as a self-government people, this happened, and the looting and the burning and the shutting down of the radio station, they took over the radio station, took over everything. And then, interestingly, Unprecedented. Never before had this happened and never happened again. But at that time, all the top brass of our armed forces left. They were out. The police department, the paramilitary, we don't have BDF at that time, we have the paramilitary. So they walked away, all of the heads. Commissioner of police, superintendent of police. Everybody walked away and fight. As well, Gillett, who was heading the at that time was the Belize Defense Force, but the paramilitary. He was the one who went and took over the Rancho Belize, and he was the head of the paramilitary, followed by the others who were the head for the commissioner of police. And all this was done. And then, interestingly, one man, decided, you know, I'm going to stick with you, Price. I'm going to see this to the end with you. If you're going to die, I will die with you. But I will take over your police department. He was a sergeant at that time, then 5 promotions. I guess nobody knew who that was. You know about the strong man, at one time warrior representative, the Honorable, may his soul rest in peace, Maxwell Samuels. He was a sergeant of police. And that day he took over the reins of the police department as the commissioner of police. 5 promotions. Never happened in the country, and I guess it will never ever again happen. But that's what took place on that day. And they were able to calm us down. Some went to jail again, some come out and they fought, but that. At this time, Philip Wilson, NIP, Dean Lindo headed at that time the People's Democratic Movement, PDM. And NIP joined forces together. And they formed what is presently the United Democratic Party, UDP. That was the beginning and the end of King George. George Price realized that you serve him, you have served us for 25 years. Yeah, we love you. But Belize does not belong to you, it belongs to us. And you serve us solely. That privilege given to you by us. All Belizeans, majority of the Belizeans gave you that privilege to serve. And that message I give to your local village council. Your privilege to serve. What you were given to you by the people of this village to serve them. Without fear or favor, I think they put their out and say, without fear or favor, to carry your orders and your duty. So, here we are. There was changes. George Price was able to held on just by a string until he brought us to independence. So, he became the father of the nation. After independence, 3 years later he lost. 3 years later he lost. Came back for 3 more years, and that's the end of his career. But he's not forgotten. What he have done, he have done. What he fought for, today we are here. We are here today celebrating his sweat, the minds of those brave men. They fought for our independence. That's why we should be proud. That's why we should be proud, but we must also remember being humble does not mean stupid. So we need to be humble ourselves. We need to humble ourselves, but at the same time, we need to be extremely proud. And remember those people at this time, today that we're celebrating our independence. Today we're here, tomorrow we're gone. We don't know who will be here next year. But those part of the history, I just want to let you know there's lots more But I was given just a short time, and I tell you, I normally talk 3 minutes, but I think I passed 3 minutes by now. And I was only given a small little slot to address it today. They said, please be short as possible, Tony. So, my people of Rancho Dolores, happy independence.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bab, for that enlightening history of Belize. Following our program, we now call on our chairlady, Ms. Rosamond Perez, to give her address. Chairlady, you may have the podium.
Good afternoon, villagers. So happy to see so many of you guys come out to celebrate with us. After this, Keisha is ready for you. Today we join the rest of the nation in celebrating Belize's 44th independence under the theme Belize at 44. Stronger together, rising forever. It's a great team, guys. Reflect on it. This theme is powerful. It reminds us that independence is not just a history lesson. It is a responsibility. And for me, that responsibility doesn't stop at Belize City and at Telmapan. Files, writing our jurisdiction, right here at Rancho Dolores, we have a responsibility to take this team forward and build our little village. Belize at 44, stronger together, rising forever. As I came through that door a while ago, my brother said, I thought Singapore was dead, but he's alive. Those of you who don't know Mr. Singapore, he was one of the chairmen who initiated this building, the center. He used to live right out there next door in our new old house, Chashta. He used his a stick. He was born popular, I think. He born popular. And that's how he got around. And he did things on his crutches. And by me walking in here this morning with my crutches, my brother said the first thing that reminded him of was Mr. Singapore. And before I left home, I was thinking, I said, my God, I'm going to walk into that place with a walking stick. Just reminded Mr. Singapore. And there goes, my brother said the same thing to me when I walked in. It is about looking at where we are as a village, asking ourselves how we can stand stronger and deciding what we must do together so that Rancho Dolores keep rising for generations to come, not only for today, not only till when the spirits I become still go, because I'm pretty sure I don't have long here with them. I'm trying my best to train the girls and so when I move out, they know exactly how to run a village council without me. And I am proud to say we are doing just that. At one time, we had only 2 members of our diaspora giving back to this community, which then was Bembe, Bob, and it was only 2. We had Philip Uda and Philip Ozal himself in this community from the States. And the word diaspora means that Belizean living abroad, okay? So whenever you hear the word diaspora, it means Belizean living abroad and giving back to their country. Today we have a strong and growing group of Rancho Dolores diaspora donating regularly now and staying involved in our village project. I must say this comes from, we just take over in July, right? In July. And we met this village, this village has been back for some time, it's been long. And I am all for improvement, I'm all for winning. And that's my team in the classroom. When we have school day, my kids, they say, I want to be in this parents' house. I teach get to win. That I used to do with them. We used to teach birds and we win. Teach them people come us ball and dirt and we said I win. But we will win. Because that's who I am. I want to win. And because of that, we have these diaspora. The group was formed. We have almost everybody who's interested. If the phone blink too much, just turn it off or leave. Because of their consistent giving and the support of our village, the council now has funds in the bank. This allows us to take on new projects and better serve our village. We didn't have a bank book, we didn't have a stamp, we didn't have water, we didn't have a functioning toilet. You can now use the toilet at the back. We have water, you can flush the toilet. We have a bank account, and there's for the keep giving. And here we have Chester, his son. Chester, there you have Chester, his son. And Cherry, their other sibling, they're donating handsomely just to make sure Rancho move forward. And I can tell you that their money is being checked. And as soon as they send it to me, I give that to Miss Thelma. Thelma sent that to the bank. She sent me a receipt, even though I was in the States. All these things done just like if I was here. So one-to-one things being done, and they are being done credibly. There is no discrepancy of what we do. To our diaspora family and our villagers, thank you. Your commitment shows that Rancho is not just a place we live, but a place we carry in our hearts. And that's really right there. Look at the amount of us here. Because we don't have much people here at Rancho. It's very few, but we are here because you want this day to be bright. This is our village. And because of that teamwork, look what we have been able to do together. We didn't have this podium. We didn't have this. We didn't have that flag. That stand for the flag. All because of hard work, we tried to make Rancho great. It's a sin. Look, I couldn't write the name in our wheelchair, in our walking stick. Could have done it along with our pot. I don't see why the rest of the camp went to high school. New lights have been installed. I did that before I was even with the chairman. Some more still to be installed, making our village safer at night. The water meter is out there. We have to pay for that. It's not free. It's not from government. We have to pay for that water meter. And I'm asking you guys to please protect it. You see, if something is wrong, get to Miss Hurley, get to Miss Thelma, get to one of us, telling us that there is a leak so we can know because we have to pay the bill. It's not a government meter. New toilets are being installed to improve your sanitation in your community, especially villagers, the nurse, and the community, for them to live with good thoughts of Rancho. Community center bathroom and $500 to help make today's celebration. Oh my, this is one. Our representative, Anwar Onilia, donated paint for the community center. We're not going to paint it because I'm hesitant. It's 2 buckets of white paint. I asked how they help me and do white paint to paint center when I come to Belize. Give me something really more colorful. So I probably have to buy some other paint and mix it. I don't like the color. Community center and the bathroom, he gave us $500 to help with the celebration today. Out of that $500, Keisha asked me, Miss Rosie, you could borrow a chair. I said, Keisha, you crazy? Borrow a chair? I'm not care about it. I said, you want to take the money and buy social liquor? I got the people at work for the center and stand up. I said, no. Take $150 away, all the chairs and tables for Mr. Carlos. And that's what I did out of real money. And the rest, we put on the most still got the chair to go to the place which I don't. ground and the main areas of our village has been cleaned. The subdivision plan is in its final stage. I go back to the burial ground cleaning. A lot of us have loved ones down there. I stated I don't have nobody down there, but my brother reminded me I have a grandson down there. I have a mother-in-law and a father-in-law, and I have an aunt down there. But I would really like to see more people actively involved in cleaning that burial ground. That burial ground is ours. That's your loved one. Come on, man. If you can't chop, you get somebody to chop. But I need paraquat or something to help spray down there. That's our loved one in a bush. Please, the how many you want when we go, that you back in a bush? I don't think so. The new subdivision, we know that there's a subdivision going on. It's already been, the surveyor has already been identified. The map has already been made. We have like 85 or 89 lots. What we need now is to identify a bulldozer, find out the price they charge for a bulldozer, the hour they charge to bull and one lots, and then we're going to get back to the people, the ones who, I have the word that, the ones, what's the word I'm looking for? The ones who really deserve a lot. We got like 100 per applications in. I'm pretty sure some of you agree. Because we cannot give out 100 lots when we have 85, and the minister already said we can only give out 75 or 50. If you don't belong to Rancho, you don't have no strings. You don't have no strings. Left their lots for somebody else who has strings, the Rancho. Make the villagers, they get asked, you but bring someone come in, you know. But not tell them my brother and my sister will live on my lots. Me and never quarrel. Period. Don't tell me my sister and my brother will live the Rancho one lot. You talk to the wrong person. I'm not going to let people know what I don't have. The basketball court estimate has been completed, and this has been submitted to our area rep. Here again, guys, I don't cover sugarcoat nothing. From the time we got in and before we got in, and hammering our government. The girls will tell you, a month later where I already forward. And to know the word promise, I will have to take that out of the dictionary soon. But with a few bad words. Because honestly, I'm tired of the promise and the promise and the promise. No, we should have gotten like right in here today, right from school, because that building is abandoned and it's not for the village of Rancho. But one good thing I get from that, he already written a letter and asked permission to keep the light and the water down there. So we, the villagers, again, that's another responsibility. We have to monitor the light and the water down there is for us. So we have it right now under lock and key. But that was so easy. It's an easy text to about that thing that don't really so light. So we have to make all this Marilyn light. Current. So now with the basketball court, that they need, that the estimate don't need. The community center is now secure with locks and has been power washed, giving it a fresh look as we prepare to make it a nice center for our village. I think only the side left now. I don't think the side finished. And most exciting, free internet is available at the environment building. If you don't ever want to call another internet, go right to the environment and tell them you want to connect. They cannot tell you no. That's a free internet given to us by the king who was at the antenna tower right over there. I told him when he was abandoned at the school, I told him move it and put it by the environment so that people can go there and have access to the internet. I know what I do, people go visit and do it, I don't want to use it, but I give you a password. So you don't carry it, you just use it. Children can use it for homework. Villagers can go there to work using the internet. And we must give a big thank you. Today's celebration was made possible to do to donation from our Rancho Dolores diaspora, our villages, and the support of our area rep. We will repeat the one. Now, even as we celebrate, there is more work ahead and a lot of work that I want to do. I go sleep and I play in my head. Where will we be done? When we left, what could we do? You know what? I mentioned it a couple of days ago in our chat, and I know those of you in the other side. I said, do not let politics divide our community. Party politics, that's trouble. Keep that out of the election. Your village, that your village you live here, the minister they live in a mansion out here now. When they're dead, or get voted out, Rancho still there, but you, not for me. Should I say that all the way because I live 1 mile down the road? Please don't make party politics block up this village. So they're like all the way, they're not no red, white, and blue, and red, and red, and red, and red, and nothing like that. When I was sworn in, I told them, I don't care about red, or blue. I will wear a blue coat. Everybody was so alarmed. Because that's problem. I am also a judge just like the peace. I am also a notary public in the States. Why would I come here to bring the disturbance and the scrutiny of the tribe and public? No. We're trying to bring us together. The community center is still waiting for electricity to be connected. Like I said, I already asked Marconi about it. 24-hour surveillance have to be installed because we can't keep preparing this building. Let's keep our eyes open and report any vandalism or suspicious activity. And we could even go to the police there. I buy the police. Do you think I could pay the police? I can't pay the police, they do the job. That's who I become now. I am buying the police because I try to instill law and order here. The police car, you know, so that they have to do one fried chicken when they're on the roadside or something. No, that's a lie. When you're trying to abide by law and order, that's what the criminals will say. So they're not the best rules. So you see anything? Not afraid to call them Ali. They will come. If you don't have the number, see what right there, no ask the number, no have a handy. Anytime anything happens, you call them. This is our village, and we all share the responsibility of protecting it. We also recently had a cleanup campaign. Our area representative came that day and was happy to see the progress, but not as happy because when he came, he saw the same faces. He saw the same faces cleaning. He was disappointed in that. Where are the other villagers, Miss Perez? Why did it work? Why are the people, you know? Most of the people, that was my excuse. But we gotta do better. This is our community. I say, clean up, man. I leave a water cup. I come and a cup of water for the boys there. And I agree. We need more hands, more participation, and more pride from all of us. That is why I'm calling on everyone today. Get involved. Take part. Let's build. Let's build together. I don't need to build no house. Left that to be, I've been living there for a while. I love building. But I mean, build this community. Build in love, in pride. Build up this community. It is ours. Rancho, when I was growing up, Rancho was we never got a shit that we have. Rancho got the one, we got everything. move our school because our females stopped having kids. That's a shame. Our females are not breeding anymore. No, we gotta bring in some new breed. We got to bring in some new breed. The boys need to go bring some pineapple down at PG and they say, I'm bringing every breed every year. Exactly so. We need to do better. We are graduating them out of our village. As soon as they get the education, they go. Why? What are the reason? Why are they leaving our village? We have light, we have water. Why are they leaving? I'm yet to put my hand on that. Your government will not fix that road, so not tell me the road. You know why government not fix that now? We are not exporting anything to the city. We don't have one thing you have to drive down the road beside me, go buy Koshak in Aberdeen. Go buy cocoa and have the plant. You think they're fool? But when Coquetry get their road, Coquetry had to do as a detailed plan and a whole economic plan. How much money can we make in this village for the year? How many vehicles get licensed and insured in the streets? How many workers? And when the chairman showed them the budget, they stopped looking and said, boy, you should get your road long time. Coquetry is doing like $3-4 million a year. But we did do nothing. What is the problem? We have to put a little bit on that. All right. We, the council, we start leaving a bit. But we are already planning next year's Easter's event, and we want it to be bigger, better than all the other years. So mark your calendar to be ready and to participate. My fellow villagers, as we celebrate Belize at 44, stronger together, rising forever. Let us take this theme to heart. When we work together, we are stronger. Stronger to finish the projects we have started and to take on new ones. When we stay united, we rise. Don't care how much policeman I pay. They can't tell me nothing because I know that's not true. So it only build up. It build you up, it build up the morale. So as anything happen over half of the police, sure that I could bring back get my police in here to help discipline. Of course, that's why government pays us all the taxpayer pay everybody there. Not just for today's celebration, but for the future of Rancho Dolores. So today I challenge you, let's turn this theme into action right here in our village. Let's be stronger together. Let's keep rising forever. Happy Independence Day, Rancho Dolores. Let's enjoy today's celebration, honor how far we have come, and commit to building a brighter future for our village, our youth, and for our elders. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairlady. I will now call on our Vice Chair Lady to give the vote of thanks, none other than Ms. Hurley Clark. Bull. I don't see pipe out down the bull. Yes,
Good afternoon, everyone. It's an honor and privilege to give this vote of thanks on behalf of the Rancho like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to God for blessing us with a truly successful celebration today. A special acknowledgement to our esteemed guests for sharing your valuable time and inspiring words. We are deeply honored by your presence. To our speaker, guest, chair lady, mistress of ceremony, thank you for your infusing the event with your energy and insight. To our area rep, Honorable Marcona Leal, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for your generous support and contribution. Your support reflects your commitment to our community and inspires us all. We are also grateful to our donors, both home and abroad. Your contribution made this celebration possible. And to those working hard behind the scene, your efforts have not gone unnoticed. A big thank you to our organizer and volunteers for ensuring everything runs smoothly. Lastly, to our wonderful villagers, your presence today add warmth and joy to our gathering. It is your enthusiasm that truly makes this event memorable. Once again, thank you all. This celebration won't be possible without each and every one of us. Together we create a vibrant community that strives on connection and collaboration. Let's continue to support one another and celebrate the bonds that unite us. Belize at 44, stronger together, rising forever. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, Mr. Alex. But you are missing Christmas. Go right ahead, sir.
Nigeria is here in Belize for just a couple of days and asked to let you all know that we was happy Independence Day celebration. That we are looking forward to get the full support of the congregation from you all here for the event. You had a lot of time for Easter. So you wanted to come, but these days is short. Just for those who don't know me, we have get to know. That's what he has to say to the Lord.
And that's Nigel, and that's Nigel has donated to us so far $4,000, I think. Wow. Yes.
$1.
No, 4,000 for one and one. 4,000.
Okay, so let's give a round of applause for Nigel. Okay, with that said, the last thing on the program, I guess, is what everybody has been waiting for. It says closing and start of activities. Activities, I know some of the men have started the activity already. And so now it says starting of activity by the Village Council officers. So, Village Council officers, the floor is yours. And thank you again for coming out. This is our day. Can we please repeat the theme of today's celebration? And as what the chair lady said, let us build on this theme. Everybody, 1, 2, 3. Belize at 44, stronger, together, rising forever. Let us continue to rise, villagers.